Please subscribe and get new stories every day. In a quiet town nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, lived a young woman named Alara. Alara was like many others, working a steady job, maintaining relationships, and going through the motions of everyday life. However, beneath her composed exterior, she carried a heavy burden, a deep sense of inadequacy and self-doubt. She constantly sought validation from others, believing that their approval would bring her the sense of worth she so desperately craved. Alara's journey towards self-love began not with a grand revelation, but with a moment of profound exhaustion. One evening, after a particularly grueling day at work and a heated argument with a close friend, she found herself standing in front of her bathroom mirror, tears streaming down her face. As she looked at her reflection, she realized how tired she was of seeking approval from everyone but herself. It was in this moment of vulnerability that she decided something had to change. She needed to learn to love herself, to find her worth from within rather than from external sources. The next day, Alara started her journey by seeking out resources on self-love and self-acceptance. She read books, watched videos, and listened to podcasts, each offering different perspectives and strategies. One book that particularly resonated with her was The Gifts of Imperfection by Brené Brown. Brown's words about embracing vulnerability and letting go of the need for perfection struck a chord with Alara. She realized that her pursuit of perfection was a major obstacle to self-love. She needed to accept herself, flaws and all. Inspired by Brown's work, Alara began to practice self-compassion. She learned to recognize her critical inner voice and challenge its harsh judgments. When she made mistakes or felt inadequate, she would remind herself that she was human and that everyone has flaws and makes errors. This practice was challenging at first. Her ingrained habits of self-criticism were hard to break. But with time and persistence, she started to notice a shift. The kinder she was to herself, the less power her inner critic held. Alara also started a journal where she would write down things she appreciated about herself each day. At first, this exercise felt awkward and forced, as she struggled to find positive aspects of herself to acknowledge. However, as days turned into weeks, it became easier. She found herself noticing and appreciating her strengths and achievements, no matter how small. This daily practice of self-affirmation helped build her self-esteem and reinforced her commitment to self-love. One of the most transformative practices Alara adopted was setting boundaries. She realized that much of her self-doubt stemmed from allowing others to dictate her worth and taking on responsibilities that were not hers. She began to assert herself, saying no to things that drained her energy and yes to things that nourished her soul. This newfound assertiveness was liberating, though it was met with resistance from some people in her life who were used to her accommodating nature. Despite this, Alara stood firm, knowing that setting boundaries was essential for her well-being. Alara's journey was not a solitary one. She sought out the support of a therapist who helped her navigate the complexities of self-love and address deeper issues of self-worth. Through therapy, Alara explored her past, uncovering patterns and beliefs that had contributed to her low self-esteem. She worked through childhood experiences and societal pressures that had shaped her self-perception. This therapeutic journey was painful at times, but it was also incredibly healing. It allowed her to understand herself better and to rewrite her narrative from one of inadequacy to one of resilience and worthiness. As Alara delved deeper into self-love, she also explored the importance of self-care. She realized that taking care of her physical, emotional, and mental well-being was a crucial aspect of loving herself. She adopted a healthier lifestyle, incorporating regular exercise, balanced nutrition, and sufficient rest into her routine. She also made time for activities that brought her joy, such as painting, hiking, and spending time in nature. These self-care practices helped her feel more balanced and energized, reinforcing her commitment to herself. One of the most significant aspects of Alara's journey was learning to embrace her true self. She realized that much of her self-doubt stemmed from trying to fit into societal molds and meet external expectations. She began to explore her authentic self, asking herself what she truly wanted and what made her happy. This exploration led her to discover passions and interests she had long suppressed, such as her love for writing and her desire to travel. Embracing her authenticity allowed her to live more fully and joyfully, unburdened by the need to conform. Throughout her journey, Alara also learned the importance of forgiveness, both of herself and others. She recognized that holding on to past mistakes and grievances was a barrier to self-love. She practiced self-forgiveness, letting go of guilt and shame that had weighed her down. She also forgave those who had hurt her, understanding that forgiveness was not about condoning their actions, but about freeing herself from the pain of resentment. This practice of forgiveness brought a profound sense of peace and liberation. As Alara's self-love deepened, she noticed a ripple effect in her relationships. By valuing herself, she attracted healthier and more fulfilling relationships. She surrounded herself with people who respected and supported her, and she let go of those who undermined her self-worth. This shift in her social circle reinforced her sense of worth and created a positive feedback loop of love and respect. Alara's journey of self-love was not without its setbacks. There were times when old patterns of self-doubt and criticism resurfaced, and moments when she felt overwhelmed by the challenges of life. However, each setback was an opportunity for growth. She learned to approach these moments with compassion and patience, using them as reminders of the progress she had made and the ongoing nature of her journey. Through her experiences, Alara realized that self-love was not a destination but a lifelong practice. It required continuous effort, reflection, and adaptation. She committed to nurturing her self-love every day, knowing that it was the foundation of her well-being and happiness. She found that the more she loved herself, the more she was able to love and support others. Self-love, she discovered, was not a selfish act, but a necessary one that enabled her to contribute positively to the world. Alara's journey towards self-love transformed her life in profound ways. She became more confident, resilient, and joyful. She pursued her passions with enthusiasm, knowing that she was worthy of happiness and success. She faced challenges with courage and grace, trusting in her ability to overcome them. Her relationships flourished, grounded in mutual respect and love. Most importantly, she found a deep sense of inner peace and contentment, knowing that she was enough just as she was. Alara's story is a powerful reminder of the importance of self-love. It shows that loving oneself is not about vanity or arrogance, but about recognizing one's inherent worth and treating oneself with kindness and respect. It is about embracing one's imperfections and celebrating one's strengths. It is about setting boundaries and prioritizing self-care. It is about living authentically and pursuing one's passions. It is about forgiving oneself and others. It is about creating a life that is rich with meaning, joy, and fulfillment. Alara's journey continues as she remains committed to the practice of self-love. She knows that there will always be new challenges and opportunities for growth, and she embraces them with an open heart and a resilient spirit. Her story is a testament to the transformative power of self-love, and it inspires others to embark on their own journeys of self-discovery and acceptance. It reminds us that we all have the capacity to love ourselves, and that by doing so, we can create a life that is truly worth living. As Alara continued her journey towards self-love, she became increasingly attuned to the subtle yet powerful changes taking place within her. The inner transformation she experienced began to manifest in her outer world, reshaping her life in unexpected and profoundly fulfilling ways. Each step she took deepened her understanding of the importance of self-love, not only for her own well-being but for the positive impact it had on those around her. One significant shift occurred in Alara's professional life. With her newfound self-worth and confidence, she began to approach her work with a sense of purpose and enthusiasm that had been missing before. Her colleagues noticed the change in her demeanor, and she found herself being more assertive and vocal about her ideas. This led to increased recognition and opportunities for leadership roles. Alara realized that by valuing herself, she inspired others to value her as well. With her increased confidence, Alara decided to pursue a long-held dream of starting her own business. She had always been passionate about holistic wellness and personal development, and she wanted to create a space where people could explore these areas in a supportive and nurturing environment. Despite the risks and uncertainties, she felt a deep sense of conviction and excitement. She trusted in her abilities and the vision she had for her business. Starting her own business was a challenging endeavor, but it was also incredibly rewarding. Alara poured her heart and soul into creating a space that reflected her values and passion. She offered workshops, coaching sessions, and wellness retreats, helping others on their journeys towards self-love and personal growth. Her business flourished, and she received heartfelt testimonials from clients whose lives had been transformed by her guidance. This success reinforced her belief in the power of self-love and its ripple effect on the world. Alara's journey also led her to deepen her connections with nature. She found solace and inspiration in the natural world, discovering that spending time outdoors nurtured her soul and provided a sense of grounding. She made it a point to incorporate regular nature walks, hikes, and outdoor meditations into her routine. These moments of communion with nature not only boosted her well-being, but also reminded her of the interconnectedness of all life. This perspective further strengthened her commitment to self-love, as she recognized her place within the larger tapestry of existence. Through her connection with nature, Allah also developed a deeper appreciation for environmental stewardship. She became an advocate for sustainability, making conscious choices to reduce her ecological footprint. She integrated eco-friendly practices into her business, such as using sustainable materials and supporting local, ethical suppliers. Her commitment to the environment became another facet of her self-love journey, reflecting her respect for the planet and its inhabitants. As Alara's understanding of self-love evolved, she began to explore the role of creativity in her life. She realized that creative expression was a powerful way to connect with her inner self and to communicate her emotions and experiences. She rekindled her love for writing, painting, and music, allowing herself the freedom to create without judgment or expectation. These creative outlets became a source of joy and fulfillment, reminding her of the importance of play and exploration in the journey of self-love. One of the most profound realizations Alara had was the importance of embracing vulnerability. She understood that self-love required her to be honest with herself and others about her fears, insecurities, and desires. She practiced opening up to those she trusted, sharing her true thoughts and feelings. This vulnerability deepened her relationships, fostering greater intimacy and connection. She learned that being vulnerable was not a sign of weakness, but a courageous act of self-acceptance and authenticity. Alara's commitment to vulnerability also extended to her role as a mentor and coach. She shared her own struggles and triumphs with her clients, creating a safe and supportive space for them to do the same. Her authenticity resonated with those she worked with, helping them to embrace their own vulnerabilities and to cultivate self-love. Alara found immense fulfillment in witnessing the transformations of her clients, knowing that she was making a meaningful difference in their lives. As Alara continued to grow, she explored the concept of self-love in the context of romantic relationships. She realized that her past relationships had often been based on seeking validation and approval from her partners. This awareness prompted her to approach relationships differently, prioritizing mutual respect, support, and shared values. She entered into a new relationship with a partner who valued and supported her journey of self-love. This relationship was marked by healthy communication, trust, and a deep sense of partnership. Through her experiences, Alara came to understand that self-love was not a static state, but an ongoing practice. It required continuous reflection, learning, and growth. She embraced this dynamic nature of self-love, knowing that each day presented new opportunities to nurture and care for herself. She adopted a mindset of lifelong learning, always seeking to expand her understanding and to deepen her practice of self-love. Alara's journey also led her to explore the spiritual dimensions of self-love. She studied various spiritual traditions and philosophies, seeking to understand the deeper truths about self and existence. She incorporated spiritual practices such as meditation, prayer, and energy healing into her routine, finding that they provided a sense of peace and connection to a higher purpose. These practices deepened her understanding of self-love as a sacred and holistic endeavor, encompassing mind, body, and spirit. Through her spiritual exploration, Alara developed a profound sense of gratitude. She learned to appreciate the present moment and to find beauty and joy in the simple things. Gratitude became a daily practice, infusing her life with a sense of abundance and fulfillment. She found that by focusing on what she was grateful for, she cultivated a positive and resilient mindset. This practice of gratitude reinforced her commitment to self-love, as it reminded her of the richness and blessings of her life. As Alara's journey of self-love continued, she became a beacon of inspiration for others. She shared her story through public speaking, writing, and social media, reaching a wider audience and spreading the message of self-love. She received countless messages from people who had been touched by her journey and who were inspired to embark on their own paths of self-discovery and acceptance. Alara found immense fulfillment in knowing that her story was making a positive impact in the world. Alara's journey towards self-love was not without its challenges. There were moments of doubt, setbacks, and difficult emotions. However, she learned to approach these challenges with compassion and resilience, understanding that they were an integral part of her growth. She found strength in her support network, in her practices, and in her commitment to herself. Each challenge she faced deepened her understanding of self-love and reinforced her belief in its transformative power. Through her journey, Alara discovered that self-love was not just about individual well-being, but about creating a ripple effect of positivity and compassion in the world. By loving herself, she was able to love others more fully and to contribute to the greater good. Her story is a powerful reminder that self-love is a fundamental aspect of a fulfilling and meaningful life. It shows that by nurturing ourselves, we can create a positive impact on those around us and on the world as a whole. Alara's journey continues as she remains committed to the practice of self-love. She knows that there will always be new challenges and opportunities for growth, and she embraces them with an open heart and a resilient spirit. Her story is a testament to the transformative power of self-love, and it inspires others to embark on their own journeys of self-discovery and acceptance. It reminds us that we all have the capacity to love ourselves, and that by doing so, we can create a life that is truly worth living.